Yes, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.
Hey everybody, and welcome to the True Crime Squad. This is Katie Weaver, and I'm here with my sister, co-host, and partner in crime, Kristi Brower. Hello.
Hello. Hey everybody. And True Crime Cat Sandy.
Sandy has chosen to visit today.
Got up from her nap and showed up for the show.
Wow. Thanks for coming, Sandy. I think I've got True Crime Squad dog Luca.
Oh, good.
Sleeping at my feet, doing his thing, refusing to be on the camera in any way.
Yes. He's our private investigator. You've never seen him. He's very big on security.
Yes. It's true. And during this show, he'll leave a couple of times and go run the backyard, do his whole perimeter, then come back in and lay down. Nobody's messing with his mama.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. It is absolutely.
I have this plug tower that sits on my desk that a lot of important things are plugged into.
Sure.
And Sandy's entire goal in life is to knock that thing on the floor during the show.
Of course, yes.
She did it last week. I'm always trying to stop her because, like, several things that are involved in me being on here are plugged into that.
Sure.
But she is absolutely intent on knocking it on the floor.
That'll be a cat for you.
Yes, it will.
It's an absolutely beautiful fall day here in Idaho. You know, I said earlier this fall, I said, I just want fall to last until Thanksgiving. And I just don't think that's too much to ask. Right. We're going to get pretty dang close to it, I think. It is gorgeous.
It is. It is gorgeous. And it's kind of amazing.
Yeah.
That we're getting this, but we really are.
We'll take it. The longer the pigs can have their days outside, the happier we all are at this house. So...
Mm-hmm. I know, my dogs too. Oh, she's got my shirt.
Oh, Sandy.
Cat, you're really on one today.
You might have to leave, Sandy. We have a lot to do.
I know. She's already.
So, we've been talking about the Michael Vaughan case since it happened.
Yes.
Back in July, of 2021. Yeah. And we've been, along with you guys, wondering what in the hell is going on with this case. There's been lots of starts and stops. There have been lots of moments of the Fruitland police saying, we're going to make a decision, we're going to make an arrest, we're going to make an announcement, and then not doing it. There's been a lot of frustration on the local folks' part, feeling like they needed to know what happened.
And I kind of understand why now, though.
Mm-hmm.
Better.
Yeah.
Based on what we know.
I think so too. So what we finally now have are the arrest warrants, the PCAs, both for Sarah and Stacey Wondra. We're going to read them both. This is your trigger warning. They suck.
Yes.
It's hard to hear.
It is rough.
But this will answer a lot of questions. I really like being able to share the PCAs if we have them, because that takes a lot of confusion out and tells you a big part of the story. So what we're going to do, I'm going to read Stacey's first, and then Kristi's put together some video evidence of Stacey's of times that he has been talking about this case. Then we're going to read Sarah's, and then we're going to hear a little bit more about Sarah, or watch a video of Sarah clips from her social media as well. Buckle up.
Hang on to your butts, friends.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to start with Stacey. All right. On July 27th, 2021, neighbors reported seeing 5-year-old Michael Vaughan between approximately 18:15 and 18:30 hours. That's 6 p.m., 6:15 and to 6:30, in the area of his home and nearby residences and south of Arizona in Fruitland, Payette County. Michael knocked on some of his neighbors' doors, attempting to play with neighbors or in their yards. Michael was told by neighbors to go home. At approximately 6:45 to 6:50, Tyler Vaughan noticed his 5-year-old son Michael was missing from their yard. Tyler began searching his home and property for Michael. Tyler called 911 to report his son missing at approximately 7:21, and the Fruitland Police Department responded to the area. Fruitland Police Department and the FBI, along with other local agencies and volunteers, searched for Michael over several weeks and now years. Through interviews, searches, and other corroborating evidence, all of Michael's family and household members have been determined not to have any knowledge of Michael's current location, nor were they involved in Michael's disappearance. All of Michael's neighbors on Southwest 9th Street and Arizona have also been thoroughly investigated, searched, and interviewed, and have been determined by law enforcement to not have any knowledge or involvement in Michael's disappearance. The surrounding area was searched extensively, and Michael has never been found. Live scent canine teams searched the surrounding neighborhoods on August 2nd and 3rd using a pair of Michael's shoes for his scent. Out of approximately 300 homes, canine handlers reported the dogs only showed interest in one house in Fruitland. This is the home of Stacey and Sarah Wondra. A canine handler also reported that canine Banshee showed interest in the area of the corner of Meadowlark and Red Wing Street. The canine showed interest in the intersection and then headed straight to the fence and front door of the Wondra's residence. On August 12th, on August 2nd, canine Banshee tracked scent down to a tree over the edge of the bluff off of Southwest 8th and Rivers Way. Canine Banshee was determined to track the scent into the thorny bushes under the tree despite the thorns. A discarded child's stroller was located deep in those thorny bushes. On August 5th, 2021, a big pink flyer tricycle was located behind the bluff sign at Three Rivers, and during a search of the same area the day prior, the tricycle was not there. Jim Schmidt, who lives in the Three Rivers subdivision, later reported that he found the tricycle over the bluff under a tree next to a child's stroller. Jim said he took it home to use one of the wheels for another project, but then discarded it after not removing the wheel as planned. Jim said he left it behind the bluff sign for neighborhood kids to play with. Kim Elko would later report to law enforcement that she had seen the tricycle in the Wondra's garage during a yard sale in the spring of 2021. Elko was able to describe the layout of the Wondra's garage and where she saw the tricycle on a stack of boxes. The described stack of boxes was still there during a later search warrant of the Wondra residence and garage. Dorothy Starkey, who was present in Fruitland, reported on July 29, 2021, that she saw Michael riding a big wheel tricycle at the corner of Red Wing Street and Meadowlark Avenue on July 27th, as she was either entering or leaving the neighborhood. Dorothy is seen on surveillance videos coming into the neighborhood and left the neighborhood around 1925 hours. Other than Dorothy's report, there are no other reports of Michael being seen anywhere other than Southwest 9th Street and his next-door neighbor's house on Arizona on the date of his disappearance. Video surveillance was gathered from security cameras in the neighborhood Michael disappeared from, as well as the neighboring areas. Michael is never seen on any of the surveillance footage that was obtained. Stacey Wondra is captured on surveillance footage driving a white Lexus and pulling into the parking area of the splash pad in the neighborhood off Southwest 8th Street at 15:23 hours on July 27, 2021. Stacey is seen exiting the driver's door, walking around the passenger side of the car, and appears to be testing the exterior door to see if it's locked. Stacey then walked back around to the driver's side of the vehicle, where he got into the driver's seat and exited the area at 15:24 hours, 1 minute after arriving. Video surveillance shows an adult male walking in the area of Three Rivers Way at 18:08 hours on July 27, 2021, so just after 6. And the same male is captured walking in the area of the neighborhood splash pad at 18:18 hours. The last image of the male is captured at 18:28 hours as he walked through the wooded area to the west, back towards the area in which the Wondras lived. Brandon Shurtleff was identified in 2022 as being this person and told detectives during an interview that the surveillance video captured him as he was walking, searching for a missing child on the day that Michael disappeared. The video captured Brandon walking prior to Michael being reported missing. Brandon reported he was living with the Wondras on that date. On August 1st, 2021, Fruitland police contacted the residents in Fruitland. On their initial search of the residence, they located Adrian Lucien hiding in a closet. Residents of the home on that date and on July 27, 2021, were identified as married couple Stacey and Sarah Wondra and their sublets, Brandon Shurtleff and Adrian Lucien. All four were interviewed on August 1st, 2021. They've known the whole time.
The whole time.
Adrian was vague in his statements and wouldn't commit to a solid statement. He also refused to provide his social security number for identification confirmation. He provided Stacey's phone number as his own and concealed his real phone number from law enforcement. On August 21st, 2021, Sarah reported that on July 27th, she and Stacey slept until noon. Sarah said they left their residence around 1700 hours, so that would be 5 p.m., to tow a vehicle to Kuna, Idaho. Sarah and Stacey denied that they were home around 6:30 on July 27, 2021. Cell phone tower data and surveillance footage show Sarah, Stacey, Adrian, and Brandon were in the area of their neighborhood at the same time of Michael's disappearance. Sarah, Adrian, and Brandon returned to Fruitland, verified by surveillance, in Sarah's blue Toyota Corolla at 5:08 p.m., only to leave again at 5:12. The Toyota then came back to the neighborhood again at 5:56. Surveillance footage shows Sarah driving the maroon GMC pickup on July 27, 2021, as she drove out of the neighborhood at 7:08. Stacey has been identified as the front passenger and Brandon as the driver's side rear passenger. Sarah, Stacey, and Brandon's phone data show that they were co-located as they left the neighborhood at 7:08 and drove to Kuna. Adrian's phone did not provide any location data during the evening of July 27th. However, Adrian took a selfie in the guest bathroom at the Wondra residence at 19:26 hours, 7:26. Wondra's maroon GMC pickup is captured on surveillance footage returning to their Fruitland neighborhood at 23:22 hours on July 27th, 2021, so that's near midnight, pulling or towing a silver Mercedes-Benz. Following Michael's disappearance, Sarah had a distinct change in behavior. Following Michael's disappearance, Sarah began to stand along the highway near the Love's gas station in Ontario, Oregon, with signs stating to repent of your sins and that the end of time was near. Sarah's social media posts on TikTok and Facebook also changed drastically to religion and asking for forgiveness of her sins. Prior to Michael's abduction, Sarah had only posted approximately 11 videos on TikTok over 3 years. Following Michael's abduction, Sarah posted approximately 329 videos from September 15th through December 24th. In TikTok videos Sarah made testimony statements regarding her involvement in criminal behaviors and stated that she had broken all 10 of the 10 commandments. It should be noted that thou shalt not kill is one of the 10 commandments. Sarah also alleged in her videos that it did not matter what sins she had committed because God had forgiven her for all of them. Michael's missing persons flyer can be seen on her refrigerator in the background of some of her videos. Sarah was interviewed again by law enforcement on November 15, 2021. Stacey was also interviewed. After being confronted with the photo of her leaving the neighborhood on July 27th, driving the GMC pickup at 7:08, Sarah changed her story and said she was driving the GMC to get Brandon's Mercedes-Benz from Kuna to tow it back to Fruitland. Sarah said the trip to Kuna to get the car had not been previously planned and that it was Stacey who wanted to go get the car at that time and date. Sarah said she stopped at Southwest 8th and South Arizona on the way out of the neighborhood to input the address into the GPS. Sarah said she drove to 2518 North Snowbell in Kuna, which is Brandon's mother's home. It is worth noting Brandon was in the truck with them when they entered the GPS coordinates to go to Brandon's mother's house, and that Sarah's and Brandon's cell phone data show them at the residence earlier that day. Sarah said Brandon's mother, Tina Morell, was out of town. Sarah said that Tina did not allow Brandon to have people in her home when she was not there, so Sarah and Stacey parked down the road and Brandon used a back gate on the south side to enter Tina's residence so that her doorbell camera did not capture him there. Sarah reported that while towing the truck back to Fruitland, the tow strap broke. Sarah and Stacey Wondra sold their phones or sold their vehicles and got rid of their furniture shortly after Michael went missing. Sarah was asked about changing her phones following Michael's abduction. Sarah provided two reasons. Sarah said they sold their phones because she and Stacey were splitting up, and Sarah said they sold their phones because a demon told her to. Sarah was still paying on the phones that she sold. Sarah was asked about her Facebook posts and provided the following responses. I literally had like a demon tell me that I needed to leave my husband. I literally deleted all of my pictures. I have no idea what my passwords are. We had a fight. My husband and I had to sell our phones and we had to get new phones, and I can't access any of my stuff. So I do have Facebook, just don't have access to it right now. When asked about the vehicles Sarah and Stacey have, Sarah said the GMC pickup was repossessed. Sarah said she told Stacey when they heard the repo guys were coming to take the truck, "We are going to be the nicest repo they've ever had today." Law enforcement was later told that the truck appeared to have been thoroughly cleaned prior to the repo. Following the interview on November 15th, Brandon reported that Sarah and Stacey contacted him and told him that they were re-interviewed about Michael's abduction. Brandon said that Stacey suggested Brandon come over to their place and create an alibi or write a letter on behalf of Sarah and Stacey saying they were not involved in Michael's abduction. Tina Morell, Brandon Shirtlift's mother, was interviewed by law enforcement. Tina reported that Brandon's behavior changed after he lives with the Wondras. Tina explained that Brandon became more depressed and more withdrawn, spending more time playing video games and smoking marijuana. Tina would not tell law enforcement where Brandon was or what his phone number was at that time. Kay Ramsey, Sarah's mother, was interviewed and shown a picture of the tricycle described above. Kay claimed that the tricycle in some bushes, that she found the tricycle in some bushes prior to Michael's abduction. The bushes that Kay described are near where Mr. Smith found the tricycle just after Michael's abduction. Kay said that would be the reason her DNA was on the tricycle. Kay said that after all that effort, she left it at the intersection of Three Rivers Way and Southwest 8th Street. Kay was 73 years old in July 2021, and the bushes were very difficult to get to. Kay Ramsey also confirmed to law enforcement that Sarah and Stacey's dog had dug holes in the backyard of the Red Wing residence. Kay reported that the dog had dug up what she later determined to be the ear of a green stuffed animal Kay said she had thrown away the stuffed ear. Kay Ramsey is also alleged to have withheld information and or evidence in other criminal investigations involving Sarah in 2022. Then, Kay initially concealed a firearm used in an aggravated assault in which Sarah was later convicted. When law enforcement met with Sarah on October 12, 2022, Sarah said that God told her he was going to help her find the boy. During the interview, at the first mention of Michael, Sarah became emotional and broke down crying in front of the detective. Sarah wrote a testimony and said that if law enforcement read it, they would locate Michael. Sarah suggested that God had forgiven Hitler for his sins and God had redeemed Sarah for her sins too.
Jesus.
Kristi Kutch told detectives. Yeah. Kristi Kutch told detectives prior to Sarah's arrest in April of 2022 that she made a statement about Stacey being involved in the abduction of a 5-year-old boy. Kristi said she made personal notes of their conversation. In June of 2022, there was a recorded jail phone call between Sarah and Kristi where Sarah advised Stacey had been arrested. Kristi said that if he had been charged with the kidnapping, Kristi asked if he had been charged with the kidnapping of a 5-year-old boy. Sarah recanted her prior statements, claiming that Kristi misunderstood her prior comments. Also mentioned was how Sarah's dog was digging large holes in the backyard. On November 5th, 2022, Stacey contacted Fruitland police and requested an interview at the Washington County Jail. Stacey provided vague details about the events surrounding Michael's abduction. Stacey said Sarah's religious beliefs and behavior changes started with a couple of days after Michael's abduction. After Stacey's arrest for an unrelated incident, Stacey spoke of changing phones and or SIM cards to prevent law enforcement to follow him or profile him. On November 10, 2022, Stacey again asked to speak with Fruitland police detectives. Stacey wanted a deal, the same offer that was given to Sarah in the Michael Vaughan case. Stacey admitted Michael had been in his house the night of Michael's abduction. Stacey admitted the tricycle had been in his garage where Kim Elko had previously described seeing it. Stacey then said that when he first saw Michael, Sarah was carrying Michael into their home. Stacey said Michael was put in a duffel bag to transport him out of their house and to Brandon's house in Kuna. Stacey said Sarah was frantic trying to figure out what to do, and Brandon interjected, "I have a duffel bag." Stacey described Michael as crying, and to prevent him from moving or making noise, Stacey described how Sarah taped Michael using duct tape. When asked who put Michael in the bag, Stacey said Brandon grabbed the bag and gave it to Sarah. Sarah picked up Michael as Adrian helped hold the sides of the bag open, and they shoved Michael into the duffel bag. Stacey described Michael as wiggling, trying to get away. Stacey said he could see Michael in the bag with his knees bent up in the fetal position. While describing and demonstrating how Michael was taped and stuffed in the duffel bag in his living room, Stacey had a physical reaction and began violently vomiting. When asked if he was vomiting because of the chewing tobacco he was using, he indicated that he was throwing up because of the stress of talking about Michael Vaughan. Stacey provided 2 reasons they stopped in the GMC at the corner of Southwest 8th Street and South Arizona in Fruitland. 1, for Stacey to put power steering fluid in the vehicle, and 2, so Brandon could check to see if Michael was still alive, because Michael was bound with duct tape and stuffed into a duffel bag in the bed of the truck. Stacey said he was able to hear Michael making noises like a dull scream. Stacey said they were worried about being seen because they saw a car parked off of South Arizona. Stacey said they drove straight to Brandon's mother's house in Kuna, where Brandon grabbed both bags, the duffel bag containing Michael and a backpack, and went into the house by himself. Stacey said that once they arrived in Kuna, Michael was not making any more noises, and none of them had checked on Michael to verify he was still alive. Stacey said Brandon told him he left Michael in the bag and put him in the spare room inside his mother's house. They then towed Brandon's car back to Fruitland. Stacey said that Sarah, Brandon, and Adrian went to Kuna the next day to get Michael. The three of them brought Michael's body back to their house in Fruitland. He stated that he was inside. Brandon was on guard and Sarah and Adrian dug the hole together. Stacey reported that he did not previously report this information because he thought he would still get into trouble and he was afraid of Sarah hurting him. In an interview, Stacey stated that Michael had a stuffed animal, some sort of a stuffed animal, I want to say like a dinosaur or a monkey, and what I saw was a monkey, was green and looked like a green monkey. In one interview, Stacey advised the lime green monkey was a dog toy that he and Sarah gave Michael to keep him quiet while he was sitting on the couch in their living room. Additionally, Stacey stated that the idea to take a child was to sell for money. It was Adrian's idea, and they would get a $10,000 cut. Stacey asked if Sarah provided any direction throughout any part of this. Stacey said that Sarah asked him and Brandon to follow her lead, which was to take the kid. Stacey recalled that most of the conversation at that point was Sarah trying to figure out what they were going to do. Sarah had asked Brandon, where should we put the body? And Brandon was like, well, you guys can take him over to my house and we'll deal with it, and that will buy us some time. Following his interview with law enforcement, Stacey called his mother, Tamara Johnson, from the Washington County Jail on a video visit. Tamara asked Stacey if Michael was alive. Stacey shook his head no and said Sarah accidentally killed him. Tamara asked how. Stacey said suffocation and went on to say they buried him in a duffel bag. After his interview and phone call to his mother, Stacey wrote an apology letter to Michael's parents, and then attempted to hang himself in his cell, but he was rescued by Washington County Jail staff. It should be noted that during some part of Stacey's incarceration in the Washington County Jail, prior to his confession and directions on where to find Michael's body, Sarah was out of custody and living back at the house on Red Wing Street, as evidenced by her being there when law enforcement arrived with a search warrant. Sarah could have had the time and ability to move any evidence from the property without Stacey's knowledge. In June of 2022, Sarah called Kay Ramsey from jail and spoke about spouses being able to testify against each other. In a recorded phone call from the Washington County Jail to Sarah, Stacey expressed concern that Sarah was going to turn on Stacey. Sarah confirmed that Stacey was referring to Michael Vaughan. Sarah told Stacey that she had already told her attorney that she wasn't going to turn on Stacey and that she wasn't going to testify against him. Stacey then reassured Sarah that he was never going to testify against her either. As a search warrant was executed on November 12, 2022, Stacey described the exact location as to where to find Michael buried in the backyard of the residence. He instructed detectives through video chat. Sarah Wondra, who was located in the residence at the time, was detained. As officers read her the search warrant, Sarah made several strange statements. Wow, that is a lot. I definitely did not kill that boy. The Most High God already told me who did it. Oh wow, the Most High God just told me that Stacey is the one who killed him and buried him in the yard of Carson's home. She also said the Most High God told her that Stacey was the one who killed him and buried him. The Most High God just told me that Stacey is the one who did it. He wants me to make sure you understand that I had nothing to do with it. He said that Stacey buried him in the backyard by the shed. It wasn't actually Stacey who harmed the boy. As officers started to search the residence, Sarah asked several times if the officers had found him yet. The Idaho State Police and Ada County Sheriff's Office assisted with the execution of the search warrant at the Wondra residence, along with the 5 separate cadaver canines. Prior to officers digging in the backyard of the Wondra residence, Cadaver canines were deployed and alerted in the backyard of the home. A total of 5 certified cadaver canines were deployed, and all 5 alerted inside the Wondra backyard in the approximate area of where Stacey claimed he witnessed Sarah and Adrian bury Michael. Neither Michael nor any human remains were located during the execution of the search warrant. Prior to excavating the backyard, law enforcement noted there were several areas in the yard that appeared to have been filled with dirt and or resodded. Kay and Ed Ramsey reported that they had filled in the areas of the yard where Sarah and Stacey's dog had dug holes. At various interviews after the disappearance of Michael Vaughan, Stacey was asked what happened to his and Sarah's cell phones from July of 2021. Stacey said that Sarah wanted to detract attentions so we are not on the radar, and that was the reason they sold the phones. When asked if there was evidence of crime on these phones, Stacey said there were text messages. Investigation revealed that the Wondras changed their phones approximately 3 times in a 5-month period. Stacey described purchasing SIM cards to put in his cell phones to evade law enforcement. The GMC pickup was subsequently repossessed for non-payment. Stacey then called Kim's Cars wanting the truck back or to borrow it. He also told them to hurry up and sell it. Stacey further advised that they sold the Lexus they had at the time Michael Vaughan was abducted. Within a few weeks of Michael's disappearance, the Wondra's iCloud data revealed Stacey and Sarah searched for rental houses in other states and financial assistance in other states. Additionally, a photo of items boxed up was taken on July 30th, 2021, as if they were preparing to move. In summation, Stacey confessed that the 4 members of the household, Stacey Wondra, Sarah Wondra, Brandon Shurtleff, and Adrian Lucien, were all involved in the abduction and killing of Michael Vaughan. Their home is in the neighborhood adjacent to the home where Michael lived and was last seen. The neighbor, Dorothy Starkey, saw Michael riding a tricycle near the Wondra home at the time Michael went missing. The same tricycle was seen in Wondra's garage prior to the abduction. That tricycle was discarded outside the neighborhood on a bluff after Michael went missing. Kay Ramsey, Sarah Wondra's mother, claimed to have found it and moved it to the entrance of the neighborhood, which is refuted by the fact that another neighbor, unrelated to this case, claimed to have found it and placed it where Kay's story also does not account for. The fact that the tricycle was in the house before being discarded and before Michael went missing. Live scent track dogs were deployed, and the only house they showed interest in was the Wondra house. The same dog showed interest in the area where Michael went missing from the area where the tricycle was discarded. Based on the foregoing, your affiant is requesting that Stacey Wondra be charged with kidnapping and murder in the first degree, as well as the concealment of evidence.
God, that's a lot.
Yeah. Yep.
It is worse than I could have possibly imagined.
Yep. They were going to sell him. Just like that.
And then
just like that.
Somehow thought they'd transport him in a duffel bag in the back of a truck. I looked it up. It's an hour drive from Fruitland to Kuna on I-84.
Yeah. In July.
It's a
so it
70
would have been
to 80 mile an hour freeway.
Yep. And in July, it would have been very, very hot as well.
Oh, yeah. It would have been horribly hot.
Yeah. So let's look at some of the video stuff that you have about Stacey.
So this is Stacey. This is actually the video of Stacey on FaceTime with the police, directing the officers about where to dig in the backyard of their house to find Michael Vaughan's body. Just watch him, watch his body language and the things that he says. I think it tells us some things about Stacey now, knowing all of this that maybe we didn't quite understand before.
Mm-hmm.
You will help me a little bit more. I'm over here. I'm in your home.
Okay.
So I need a little bit more direction about where Michael is at.
Go out the back door, or
Okay.
I can't. Can you turn the camera around so I can show you?
We're gonna flip it around right now. Stand by.
All right, here.
There you go.
Okay, so I'm going out the kitchen door.
And that's some equipment.
That is some equipment. Okay, where do I need to go?
Okay, face to the right. Like right where the dirt piles are.
Right where the dirt piles are. About how far off of the fence?
Uh,
Go ahead. Okay, walk over there and you point us to where it needs to be.
okay. Now keep going out a little further.
Keep going out a little further. You're gonna have to climb that mound.
It's like right under that mound area.
It's right under the mound, about where at compared to the
So,
trees?
a little like right to the right of the trees area.
To the right of the trees?
Yeah.
Okay.
A little
So,
bit. Where
can
the
you see-
building. So-
Okay, where at now?
Now he's off the dirt mound. It's like underneath the dirt mound area.
And about where he's standing?
Yeah, a little bit less, like closer to the house.
Come closer to the house?
Yeah.
And what is he wrapped in?
He should be. I mean, it should be a garbage bag.
Okay, what color is the garbage bag?
It would either be white or black. We only had 2 colors.
I want you to direct him from the fence where that orange thing in his hand is. Where do we need to stop it?
Right about there.
Right about there. Okay. All right. We will try there.
Okay.
Do you have any other suggestions for us, Stacey?
I mean, like I said, that's where he was buried.
Okay.
That's the last place I had known. Again, haven't been home for quite a while, and a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So the only other place I would say, if he's not in that backyard, is go to Cuna to Brandon's house and check in the backyard by the tree area.
Okay. Well, we're gonna finish here first, and then we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay.
So does he need to go right or left? Or anywhere else?
That general area, that bucket's enough to dig, but you're gonna want to like start digging underneath the dirt piles.
Okay. How far down is Michael?
I don't know how far she actually dug, to be honest with you.
About. Give me an estimate.
I mean, maybe 4 or 5 feet.
4 or 5 feet? 4 or 5 feet, that's probably taller than me.
Like I said, you asked for an estimate. I'm giving you what I mean. It's probably shorter than that. I don't have an exact idea.
Okay, when she dug the hole, was she standing in the hole?
Standing outside of it.
Okay, and was she using a regular shovel?
I think it was a bullnose, or what do you call them, pointed ones.
Okay, and did the shovel, was she able to stand on the outside of the ground and the shovel able to reach the bottom of the hole?
Yeah.
Okay, about how far down was the shovel in the hole?
I don't know, let's say like 3 feet down. 2 feet down. I don't have like I said, I don't have an exact, measurement like to give you. I didn't pay attention that far.
That's okay. Okay, we will try where you suggested, and I will call you back. Okay, Stacey?
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye.
Alright.
Yeah.
I have to wait here. I have to wait here or what?
If they call us back, we'll come back here and call you back in. Okay?
Can you try to advocate and see if you can get a hold of was one of the LT or or not LT because he's hunting, but the sergeant, and see if but taking me away from the only thing that helps me with is being able to talk to my mom And, you know, I mean, all I want to do is talk to my mom. That's the only thing I really want. I didn't even barely get a chance to talk to her much last night because everything, everything was so.
Okay, well, I'll talk to who I can and see if you're allowed to make calls, and we'll go from there. I don't, like I said, man, I'm on the patrol side of it, so I don't really know what happens back here too much. So, but I'll give you my word that I'll go talk to him right now and see. So basically, all you want to do is talk to your mom, right?
I just want to call my mom. I have minutes on her side. Okay. So in calling her, I don't have to worry about them resetting a phone number for minutes or anything. Okay. I mean, it's just she has a prepaid account on her number. Okay. Well, we'll put you back over there, and I'll talk to these guys and see what we can do for you. Okay. All right.
Tells a lot about Stacey Wondra. How nonchalant he was.
Yeah.
About the whole thing. Made sure to couch all of it that it was all Sarah.
Yes.
I just don't think Sarah could have dug that hole by herself. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I don't think I could dig that hole by myself.
Well, it was Sarah and Adrian, depending on which confession you listen to, but he said Sarah and Adrian dug the hole, but still, yeah.
But still.
I couldn't. Yeah.
That Adrian guy is a tiny little tweaker, if you see pictures of him. Mm-hmm. I just don't believe it. Also, the second they're done, he wants his mommy, guys.
Yeah.
He just wants his mommy.
Mm-hmm. You know who else wanted their mommy, Stacey? You piece of shit. Yeah.
Michael Vaughan.
Yeah. In lieu of reading Sarah's entire affidavit, it is very long. It's very similar to Stacey's. I'm just going to read you the differences.
Yeah.
And just compare them a little bit. And then we'll talk about the trike, because I know the trike is confusing, so we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's some things that are in Sarah's PCA that are not in Stacey's. There's more information about the street preaching at the highway in Ontario. So Ontario, Oregon is very near Fruitland, in case you're wondering. Fruitland is in Idaho. Ontario's in Oregon. She was standing.
You'll hear Sarah describe it too here in a few minutes.
Okay. So you have Sarah standing, holding signs saying, "Repent of your sins. The end of time is near." They talk more about the massive spike in the religious themed TikTok videos. And again, 11 videos in 3 years before Michael disappears, 329 videos in 3 months after.
It's closer to 429 total on that account.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's insane.
Because she kept going clear until April when this other incident happened and she ended up arrested.
Yeah.
Like, it's nuts.
These posts include statements of, "I have broken all 10 commandments. And it doesn't matter what I've done, God has forgiven me." Sarah expressing that she saw a body in a bag. In jail, when she was talking to a correctional officer, she actually told one of them, "I don't know, it was in a bag. I couldn't see it," but indicated that there was a body in a bag. Sarah repeatedly claims that God told her what happened. We know that she said, "The Most High God already told me who did it. Stacey was the one who killed him and buried him in the yard. He wants me to make sure you understand I had nothing to do with it." And then repeatedly asks, "Did you find him yet?" We know that Sarah has changed her story a bunch of times. We know that she has admitted to being present to these events in some capacity, but tries to always shift responsibility onto Stacey. We know that she shows inconsistent detail recall that might align with guilt, not ignorance, but, actual guilt. We know that she told a foster mom and then later Kristi Kutch before arrest that Stacey was involved with kidnapping a child, and then later kind of walked that back and said, oh no, you just misunderstood what I said. And then we know, of course, that when she was interviewed on October 13th of 2023, as soon as Michael's name is spoken, she starts sobbing and says, God told me he was going to help me find the boy. Most of the rest of the PCA is just what you heard in Stacey's. So probably the biggest smoking gun in Sarah's would be the body in a bag admission. And then also just the complete psychological breakdown that went on directly after Michael's disappearance. And of course, pre-arrest statements to other people saying that Stacey had kidnapped a 5-year-old. So let's watch Sarah's video, and then I'm going to clarify some things about the trike, because I know that got confusing. It confused me too.
Get your punching pillows out, guys. Remember, these are all things that she said after Michael Vaughan's body is buried in her backyard. Okay. Yeah. I went through her entire TikTok account, so you don't have to. Trust me, you don't want to. It's insanity, but it's mostly Bible verses and her testimony. There are 24 videos of her testimony. Mm-hmm. She admits to all kinds of horrible things she's done in her life. The one thing she doesn't admit to is the very worst thing she's done in her life. Mm-hmm. She gets extremely preachy, and she's out there telling everybody else how to do it.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild knowing what she has done.
Yeah.
Where her head goes. I did want to clarify one thing. Kay Ramsey is her adopted mother. Sarah's mother died at 6, and she ended up in the foster care system after a huge amount of abuse, and she's been through a lot. Her life has been terrible. But Kay Ramsey is her adoptive mother, and Kay Ramsey has had a history of lying for her to try to protect her. What do you do, man?
Yeah.
This kid was an absolute nightmare for them. In and out of rehab and jail and prison and all kinds of shit leading up to this.
Yeah.
Her TikTok account name is Sarah Ann Wondra, and it's still up. I'm kind of surprised it is, but it's still there. Me too.
Yeah.
But here's some clips. I tried to sum up kind of the things that are pretty fucking incredible for someone to say after they know they've killed a child.
So, the devil is trying to discredit me because he's trying to make me look bad. But it doesn't matter what I look like. It only matters what's in my soul. And Jesus Christ is in my soul. And the Holy Spirit is guiding me into all truth. And all I want is for people to be saved and come to the Lord Jesus Christ and go to heaven. So, he can try to discredit me, but the Lord God is bigger than him. So, amen.
Amen.
I just want to point out one thing. God made lava, okay? Lava. I'm sure hell is picnic. Yeah. He made lava, okay?
I guess you can find out, aren't you? Oh, this is an Amber Alert for a missing child. Jesus loves me, this I know. Hang on. For the Bible. Let me tell you. That last thing was an Amber Alert for a missing child in Texas. They were in Texas because they were rescuing a dog. They drove all the way to Texas to rescue a dog after they murdered a child and buried him in their backyard.
Oh my God.
Let's see. What's this quote? Giving you authority. Tons and tons of quotes. God says this, God says that. Also, just posted in a way that sounds like Sarah says this, Sarah says that. Mm-hmm. Sanders. Oh, Sorry.
Why a loving God would let murder and hate and horrible things happen to you. Well, here's the thing. First of all, it's kind of our own fault. We sin. One thing I haven't really talked about yet, I'm not God, so I'm not going to be able to cover every subject before he comes back, because he's coming back very soon. But one thing I haven't talked about is forgiveness, and I've had to experience forgiveness a lot on my end, and me giving forgiveness, because I've done a lot of things. I've hurt a lot of people's hearts, and I've done a lot of bad things that I've had to confess to God and to the person I wronged, And that wasn't easy, I had to tell my best friend that I loved so dearly that I slept with her ex-boyfriend. That was so hard. I held on to that secret for years. I didn't want to tell her because I didn't want to hurt her so bad, but I had already hurt her, and holding on to it was just allowing her not to be able to take the time to grieve so that she can forgive me. Because forgiveness is required by God. You need to forgive the people in your life, even when they do horrible things. I did something horrible to my parents. If for only your faith to be strengthened alone, if I have to tell you what it is, then sure. But I've done something horrible with my parents. And when they heard what happened, they could have sent me to prison, but they didn't. I sat in my room for an hour, waiting for the police to come. Nobody showed. I came out to the kitchen very timid and shy, and I asked my parents when they were coming. They told me they weren't, and I said, why? You should send me to prison for this. They said our Father in heaven has forgiven us, so we must forgive you. I stole from them a lot of money, and praise God I can't be persecuted for it.
Do you think this story is really about money?
No.
Because this sounds like Sarah, in her own way, admitting to what she's done.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if she told that adoptive mother what she'd done. Because the way that she talks about this, and the way that if they'd told anyone, she could have gone to prison.
Yep.
Even now, because of that global cap, but it doesn't matter. Jesus forgave me, and so did they. Today, I got called to go stand on a corner and hold some signs for Jesus. And I've never done this before, but or felt like, well, no, I feel like I felt the need that I need to go do it, and maybe just didn't do it for a while. But I wanted to hold the sign where I wanted to hold the sign, but God wanted me to hold the sign next to the weed shop. So I went to Ontario and held the sign next to the weed shop, and I just put some music in my ear and was just listening to praise music, and I was lifting the signs up, and I think there was one person that cursed at me. Some people shook their heads at me. Some people just ignored me. Some people looked at me and were not sure. You could see they were kind of searching for something, and then there's other people that were like, yeah, right on, man. And one lady got real ecstatic. She was super happy. And then, you know, there was other people that were almost angry, and one person that I looked in them and I just saw fear, you know. I just watched a movie on the Columbine shootings and how inspirational that girl was when she stood up for her faith. I got like my arms. It says Jesus is coming. Jesus lives. Chosen through Christ, right? Okay. But I gotta tell you, there's like a little enemy inside me. The enemy is like whispering in my ear when I go into stores and things. He's like, they're gonna reject you. They're gonna.
This is wait. Judge not, lest ye be judged. Hang on, let me pause these. These are scriptures about not judging.
Mm-hmm.
The first one was about not lying. These are things she's putting out to other people. And Sarah, at the time that she was posting these things, she has more followers now, but she had 1,600 followers at the time.
Mm-hmm.
There were likes on every single video. There were comments on most of them.
Mm-hmm.
She turned off all the ability to comment on this account now. But yeah, posting about how wrong it is to lie and how, you know, do not judge lest ye be judged. Then here's this. These are all of the bad things she's done that God has rescued her from.
Mm-hmm.
Sexual sin, smoking, depression, suicide attempts, my own evil thoughts, Satan's grasp, anxiety, thievery, alcohol, cursing, hatred, anger, sin, disobedience, coveting, gossip, abuse, emotional abuse, demon possession. This girl is not well. Witchcraft, I didn't even realize I was part of, myself, and so much more. You might note, though, that what's not on this list is the murder of Michael Vaughan.
Yeah.
But, you know, she's making herself out to be this hero.
Yeah.
It's
The saint
disturbing.
that God has called to preach to everybody else.
Yeah.
Nothing on this earth is worth spending eternity in hell for.
Kind of seems like $10,000 was.
Yeah.
Because that's what she thought she was getting.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. You know what's even worse? I want you to think about this. Your sin and my sin are not any worse than the other sin.
Quite a statement from someone who murdered an actual, real, living child.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, here's just a big rant that she posted on Facebook about how everyone should be repenting.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
When Jesus died on the cross, and he said, before he died, he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And then he said, it is finished. He meant that.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. How was Sarah applying that to herself?
Yeah.
The delusion here is so insane.
Yeah.
Good morning. Happy Thanksgiving. One of the few holidays that's...
This is the first Thanksgiving that Michael Vaughan's family lived without him.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like a Christian holiday necessarily, it's a good holiday to remind us that we should be thankful every day and all day. And I want to share some things I'm thankful for today. I am thankful for my husband. I'm thankful for mostly God, how he works through my whole life. Grateful for the people in my life that I still have. Sorry I haven't made a video for a little while, but I just wanted to tell people that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus Christ is Lord and you believe in your heart that he is risen from the dead, you will be saved. That's what the Bible says.
You think that's why Sarah's so heavily bought into this born-again Christianity?
Yep.
Is because she believes by professing her belief in Jesus that she is saved from what she did?
Yep. That's definitely
Like
where it's
hopes.
at.
Where is the valley of the shadow of death?
In your backyard, Sarah.
I mean,
in your
is
backyard.
it this earth? I just... Man, sorry. It just hit me so hard. I don't deserve half the stuff I've been given. Not even anything, really. God just keeps blessing me and I don't deserve it. And I can't pay it back. I owe everything to him.
That is enraging.
Isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I mean, it was a ridiculous number of hours of TikToks. But
Yeah. Thank you for going through that so no one else had to.
oh my God.
This isn't the first time we've done these TikToks before, but
yeah. I've saved a bunch of them in case we need to do it again because I don't really want to have to go through her account again. It's just stunning though, because she's walking around with those phrases on her arms and she hands out Bibles. She walks out around in public with those. She has a shirt that says Jesus is coming soon, except coming was spelled wrong. I didn't get a picture of it. And then she writes all that stuff on her arms and walks around and hands people Bibles, and then gets mad when people don't want to have anything to do with her. And that's because, she's being persecuted. It's so crazy. And then the sign holding thing. She said she was starting a Bible study at her house. People needed to come and learn about God and Jesus from her. People were, she was offering to buy people Bibles. If they would just write to her there on TikTok, she would buy them a Bible. Like it.
Oh, good Lord.
It became her entire personality. There was nothing else about her or her life on that TikTok except for all of that. And she was posting many times a day. The last video there, that was posted in early April of 2022. And in April of 2022 is when she was arrested for the assault case that she is currently serving prison time for.
Yeah. Well, kind of. She's actually in Blackfoot South.
Yeah. She's in a state hospital, but she's incarcerated.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because she is not well, obviously.
No.
But somebody said you can be mentally ill and still evil, and yes, you can.
Yeah.
Yes, you can, and I think we just witnessed it.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about the trike, because there's a lot of confusion around it. So what you need to understand is that the tricycle belonged to the Wondras.
Yes.
It didn't belong to Michael Vaughan. He didn't leave his house with it. No. It belonged to the Wondras. So that tells us that Michael got to their house. He made it as far as their house because somehow he was riding around on that trike.
Yeah, somebody saw him riding it.
Did they leave it out as a lure? Did they just see him out front walking past, or was he another neighbor he asked to play with and they got the trike out for him? We don't know exactly how he ended up getting on the trike and riding it around for a minute at least. Yeah. We do know that the same trike was seen in the Wondra garage before Michael disappeared.
Yeah, at a yard sale.
We also know that the trike was found at the bluff and that the canine Banshee tracked Michael's scent to that spot.
Yeah.
We also know, yes, we also know that someone moved the trike after Michael disappeared. And we know that Sarah's mother told some lies, maybe, allegedly, about the tricycle. Saying that, so the bluff is this thorny, steep, brushy area that it would make it really hard to think a 73-year-old climbed up in there to stash that trike. And also, why?
Yeah.
And we know that a neighbor also reported finding the trike there after Michael disappeared, and that his explanation matches the physical details.
Right.
But that's why the trike is interesting. That's why it's mentioned in the affidavit. It links Michael to their house.
It does. And just so you know, Kay Ramsey is known to have lied for Sarah in her assault case as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So hopefully that clears up the trike. Some of you've got to be wondering, where's Brandon and where's Adrian? Well, not in custody, at least not yet.
Nope, they have not.
They
found
both
them.
Left the state after Michael disappeared. We know Brandon did do an interview with the police. Adrian has not. He has pretty much been on the lam ever since.
Yeah, he pieced out.
Yep. So let's talk about what we don't know. We don't know where Michael is. If Stacey can be believed, his body was probably dug up and moved to Kuna. We don't know.
I would think they would have checked that house, though. I would imagine that Brandon's mother would have cooperated, except that we know that Brandon's mother, maybe she didn't cooperate. She refused to give the police his location or phone number, the last that she was contacted about them. She has been uncooperative in helping find Brandon.
Unfortunately, these two have been empowered by...
They have, and they have all been
people.
empowered, unfortunately. That's horrifying to me, because now we know that after Michael Vaughan died, his body spent a night in Brandon Shirtliff's mother's house.
Yeah.
And but maybe she did cooperate, and his body is not there too. I don't, we don't know why Stacey Wondra said that. If that was genuinely a guess, or if he knows something. Kay Ramsey is Sarah's mother. Sarah's adopted mother.
Yep. We don't know the exact timeline of Michael Vaughan's death. We have a rough idea if Stacey Wondra can be believed.
Right. We're basing a lot of this on what he's said.
And of course,
he's also trying to remove himself as much as he can.
Yeah. We don't necessarily know cause of death unless we believe what Stacey Wondra said, which would indicate that he was accidentally suffocated. But I fail to understand how it would be an accident to wrap a child in duct tape and stuff them in a bag and throw them in the back of the pickup.
Right.
And drive around until they died. How is that an accident?
Not know that would kill him?
What was the end game?
Yeah.
What was the end game? If they were going to sell him, it seems like they pretty much immediately killed him.
Yeah.
So what? They just panicked? They are stupid? What's the answer there?
What's the rest of the story? We're missing some pieces, I'm sure.
Yeah.
We really need to know what Adrian Lucien has to say.
Absolutely.
The police think Brandon Shirtliff is in North Dakota. But they have not found him there.
No.
And they think that Adrian Lucien kind of has moved back and forth between Toledo, Ohio, and California. But again, they don't know where he is.
Yep. We also don't really know why this started.
Right.
Stacey says that Adrian is the one who said we should sell him. And so Sarah basically gathered him up and brought him in the house. We can put together that perhaps they gave him a dog toy to play with while he was in the house before he was wrapped up. And then was maybe buried with that dog toy.
But see, there's this other piece of that, which is that the dog kept digging up the backyard.
Right.
Why do you think the dog was digging up the backyard?
Right.
And then which mother was it? It was Kay Ramsey who said that she found the stuffed ear, green stuffed ear of a dog toy that one of the dogs dug up.
Right.
Well, Michael Vaughan was given a green stuffed monkey to play with.
Right. By Wondras. Yep, exactly.
Wondras. And why were they out there covering all those holes for them and putting sod? Why were they doing that? How much do the Ramseys actually know?
Well, that's a good question, because when you listen to some of those videos from Sarah, it sure makes you wonder.
It really does.
So that is what we know so far. Stacey's going to go to trial on this, I would assume, unless he pleads out. He might, but that's the closest I think we're going to get to hearing everything that prosecutors know. Are the other two going to be arrested? They will. Yep. At some point, those other two will be arrested. Will Sarah ever be returned to competency? I don't know.
We don't know.
You know, when we first started reporting on Sarah Wondra a couple years ago here, when she first started being linked to this case, we got a message on Facebook from someone who wanted to remain anonymous, who said that they've known Sarah since junior high and that she has always been very mentally unstable.
Yeah. Back then, we went through her TikTok and went, she's crazy. And then not long after that is when they sent her to the hospital because she is not competent.
Yeah.
She's now actually been convicted and is serving a sentence. She is eligible for parole in 2026.
Yeah.
Do they know for sure he's deceased? I think so, based on the cadaver dog information. I think it's pretty clear that he's dead.
Well, and they have charged murder and have declared him deceased finally.
Right. So I think they're pretty clear that, yes, in fact, he's dead.
Yeah.
But I mean, the search dogs took them to Wondra's house.
Yeah.
Just a few days after he went missing.
Yep.
So they've known it was them this entire time.
Yep.
Just trying to build a case with these incredibly unstable human beings.
Yep. Right, good point. Tall Red said, Weeksy's stupid, but the body has never been found. They were smart enough to get rid of the body where he could not be found. Right. Where the hell is the
they
body?
had a lot of time.
They had a ton of time.
From the time Stacey went to prison for the felony weapons charge.
Yeah.
This cat is quite something today. Oh, honey. Until Sarah went to jail, there was time there. I mean, when no one was watching. Hey,
right.
Honey.
Plenty of time there. Right.
She keeps getting her claws in Oregon real easy.
He could easily be in Oregon. Yeah. Yeah, we went out in that area on a lavender tour, a lavender farm tour for my birthday a couple of years ago.
Yeah, we did.
And there's a lot of really desolate land out in there that he could have been buried on in the night or whenever, that would be likely no one would ever find him. I would be very surprised if he ever is found. I hope he is, for the sake of his mom. I mean, she has fought so hard for answers and for some clarity. It's just so hard at this point. Yeah. So, per always, we're going to keep a really close eye on this. Well, that's a great point, Connie. They did also go to Texas after Michael was missing.
They did. Oh. I've thought of that too. Was that ruse to go to Texas to rescue a dog actually when they moved the body, and that Stacey damn well knows that and lied to the police? That could happen. That could be the case.
Anything could be the case at this point. Yep.
I mean, I don't think that you can take what any of them have said and go, yeah, okay, that's 100% what happened.
Yeah.
No.
But
You
I've been
can't.
anxious to read this PCA for quite some time. And
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
now we finally see it. So there you go. I know this show is a bit heavy and traumatic. I'm just so grateful that finally some answers are coming out, that finally, hopefully, there'll be a conviction here, that somebody will pay the piper for what happened to this poor child, and that his mother can get some level of closure here, if that's possible. Yeah.
If it's possible. I mean, this is one of those cases where you really wonder if we'll ever know the actual truth.
Yep. Yep, for sure. Yep. Yep. Connie said, when I lost my 2 children, I just thank God I knew where they were, but to not know where they are, that they weren't coming home, that's a whole nother story. I feel so bad for Brandy, right? Right. It's just unreal.
It is. It's horrific.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed that they turn the other 2 up here and can get them charged. And will Sarah ever be returned to competency? Who the hell knows?
I don't know, because I think there are flashes of reality in Sarah. That last clip, I went, that's Sarah. That's real Sarah.
Yeah.
All this other stuff, delusional Sarah.
Yeah.
Hallucinating Sarah.
Yes.
She says a lot of things about God telling her to do this or do that. It's very classic schizophrenia, honestly, the things that she says.
Yep.
But the sobbing, and I don't deserve any of this, and I don't deserve to be forgiven, and I don't deserve any, that's this inside Sarah that knows what she's done, but that is not, I think, day-to-day Sarah, unless where she's in a hospital, she's probably likely medicated.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we shall see. All righty. Well, that's what we've got. We are going to be back tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for case updates. And then we'll be back at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on Wednesday. Good Lord, Thursday. Sorry, my brains are scrambled currently. On Thursday at 3 p.m. for our last show of the week. So keep an eye out for that. And that's what we've got. So you guys, please take good care of yourselves. Go do something nice for yourself. You sure deserve it. All of our love to Michael Vaughan's family. This has been yet another production of the True Crime Squad.
Bye, everybody.
Season 6, we're back again. Kristi and Katie, your crime time friends. Stories, justice, laughs collide. True Crime Squad, come join the ride. Grab the clues, let's take a stand. For victims' voices, hand in hand. True Crime Squad, it's time to shine. Season 6, your turn, your time. True Crime Squad, where justice meets hilarity.